Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I'll be doing like animation tracing of the ibis bird. So this is the bean chicken or the ibis. You can see this bird all over Sydney. Basically, they're not like a crane. They're actually more like this is like Japanese crane. They're very elegant. But the ibis is kind of different. It can fly and walk, and it's actually you can spot them all over Sydney. Without these birds, actually, Sydney will be pretty quiet. Anyway, I took a quick video, and I think this video reference can be used for animations. I kind of moving while taking this live photo, however, but anyway, this is only like 3 seconds to 3 seconds. So I'll bring this into Blender. File, import images as planes, and I'll make it just principal shader, and gonna drag and drop the video. So this is what we get by default. Let's turn on the texture, and it should load it at whatever frame we have here. By default, I think it's 24 frames per second. I will switch to 30 frames per second. If you want to do like a tracing of this guy, I want to rotate this in the y-axis, RY 90 degrees. So I'm gonna use this as quick reference. Probably I'm just gonna trace a few frames. If you don't want to keep draw every frames, you can change the stepping into whatever number, maybe every 2 frames. So it seems to end around this frame, and I want to crop it maybe from here. Copy, paste. So start and end frame. Let's save this as the bean chicken. It's called the bean chicken because this bird actually like to drink the garbage water and eat from the garbage. But it lives on a tree palm. But anyway, so Shift A, create a grease pencil, blank, and I'll switch to draw mode. And by default, the strength is set to 0.6. When you start drawing, sometimes it creates this kind of effect. Probably not what you want unless you are doing like sketching. So in our case, I'll switch this to 100%, and the radius, if I start tracing the bird, it's too big. So maybe set the radius to 5 in this case. As for drawing this character, you can draw it or trace it like realistically, but I'm using mouse at the moment, and wait, I just made a stroke, but I cannot see anything. Turn on keyframing. I have a feeling I need to just put this a little bit to the back. So now we can start drawing. Select the grease pencil, go to draw mode, start drawing this guy. So this guy can be really simple. It's up to you. I think I will just draw it this way for today. If I hold down Shift, I can actually have this smooth mode to turn this into, you know, like vector art. But I like to have this quality, like hand-drawn quality. The leg, I think we can just draw it this way. As for the feet, they're if you want to draw it properly, it's probably like that. So every now and then I actually like to do this kind of animation tracing. Alright, so this is quite meditative, however it's also kind of taking a while. But if you want to take a bit of time, just doing tracing, it's actually kind of like a nice therapy, especially with just making something looks simple like this character. It really helps to relax. So this is animating. Character already animating. It pops very quickly there. I don't know why. If you want to have like a onion skin, by default the onion skin is actually turned off. You can turn this on if you want to. For now, because we are just doing tracing, we don't need to worry about onion skinning. So this chicken, while walking, it seems to be doing the head motion as well. The big chicken is actually quite popular. If you check for Instagram or like TikTok, there's all kind of variations of this pink chicken. So quite well-known character. At some point, I want to do like a simple design of this pink chicken using proper 3D. I mean, if you're doing it in 3D, because this is like just like grease pencil, if you're doing it in 3D, you will need to do a bit of rigging. So, but you can make it really simple, really, but you still need some IK. This, especially with this bird that looks a bit like dinosaurs. The leg is like kind of backward, but the leg is really important. It plants the character. I didn't even draw the eyeballs. This neck part is actually kind of interesting. So again, it's doing this passing of the leg, feet. So this part is important to draw. If we miss like the keyframe, the animations will look kind of weird. Because I decided to make this character really simple. You can actually try to pose and animate it differently, like try making it jumping as like animation practice. And because it's so simple, you can also imagine like a different pose and different animations. Try making it dancing, for example. This leg part, I think if I make it more 3D, it's gonna look better. Like I said, the animation process is really like, it's gonna take a while. I think you need to be patient with the animation, especially 2D. Even in 3D, you can animate. While animating, you really like you need to be relaxed, but also fully concentrated. This video, it seems to be blurring. There's a lot of motion blur happening. I'm gonna try just to keep going with these animations. just doing the tracing. The tracing is it's a bit like motion capture, but doing it manually. There's like Twitter artist. His name is KK, and KK is using a Nintendo DS, I think, to do drawing and animations. More like a pixel kind of art. See this? Okay, again, because this is like a walk cycle. It seems to be doing a lot of, like stepping and passing. It's actually really simple, repetitive motions. If you're just doing a tracing, it's just, oh look, I draw the head. I draw the neck slightly wrong there, not in the middle. But let's see how it goes. Of course, it's just a basic mechanical animations, and if it's just like tracing, it's just like a tedious exercise. But you can also start studying the motions. But because this bird is so simple, I mean, I make it really simple. It's just gonna do like repetitive automations. Lots of things happening on the feet. This bird is not very heavy, I think, but when it's doing the stepping, you can see from the feet there, it's doing this curving. When it's planted on the ground, it's like this, open wide. I just make it super simple. It's supposed to be like relaxing. I like doing this and maybe doing, like kind of like a self talking. I wish I can do this, like a kind of like podcasting. Self monologue. People should do like self monologue every now and then. Kind of help your brain to defrag. Kind of to do a bit of distressing, de-stress. Should help you to defrag the surrounding. It shouldn't take too long. I mean, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but every day, doing this every day. The cool thing is, after you do this kind of drawing in Blender, of course, you're gonna have data that you can reuse. Oh yeah, I don't worry about the material of the grease pencil that I'm using. It's basically, it doesn't even have like a material fill. So by default, it's just like the stroke, right? Stroke without fill. If I turn on the fill, make it white color, what's gonna happen? Okay, so I think the fill will work. It should work at this point. Okay, the alpha need to be turned on. So now I'm drawing this with the fill. Don't forget to save. You might lose everything if you're not careful. So, what do we have so far? Okay, so we have this. Turn it off. If we turn off the step, frame rate set to 30 frames per second. Yeah, I think the one that's, because the camera is also moving, we have some weirdness happening, but there is some part that's correct. There you go. I think this is something that can be looped and cycled if the character is actually walking. Oh, this part is weird. I think I missed the part where he planted the leg. Anyway, I will continue a little bit more. It's a very interesting bird. It's actually quite shy. You can't go too close. Sometimes it gets closer to you, but you cannot really touch the bird. Oh, look, I made a mistake. That's okay. If you're doing like a cartoon drawing like this, you can actually start adding exaggerations. Make the ups and down a little bit more, or yeah, because we are just doing the tracing. Actually, sometimes the tracing doesn't help you animating unless you do like some analyzing. See, I missed this important part. While the leg is still planted, this part is important. And for what you're doing, we don't actually need to have the fill. Turn it off. There's a blink there. It's really weird. This pencil actually, sometimes it does really unusual thing. Like, let's take a look at the keyframe. I disappear once. Delete. That's better. Yeah, I lost the character. Kind of lost the volume there because I draw it badly. Yeah, next time if I do like a proper reference, this is just a quick live photo. See, this part is actually, the camera is still moving, but at least we know where the ground is. If I use the another app to take the reference, we can create a ground to put our character in. but for now, don't worry. There you go. That's just a quick kind of tutorial, or just testing the cruise pencil, tracing the ibis or the winged chicken. So I think this is pretty fun, kind of like a therapy. Highly recommend it if you like to do animation, but you sometimes, if you don't have the confidence yet to do this, you can try this kind of method. And also you can always start play around, because this grease pencil, you can make it like duplicates and start adding things like offset or noise. Oh, this is noise. You can add a little bit, so it's not static. It's never gonna be static for every frame when it's static. And you can also offset the animations. Time offset. So if you have like multiple, you can offset the time. However, it's good. This is only good if you are doing like a looping. And I need to be careful with this, because I'm also keyframing the object positions just now. So now if you have adult pin chicken and the small ones walking. If we make it like looping, it's better. But there you go. That's how we can trace and animate a bin chicken, thanks to this reference. Next time I'll take a better reference for you. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.